During yesterday's live stream, I was supposed to address the subject of get home bags, basic philosophy. I got distracted by some breaking news. I'm addressing it now. Basic philosophy of my basic philosophy of get home bag is a small bag of the most essential things you need to get from point A, work, school, whatever, to home. Just just that little trip. It shouldn't ever be over a 4-hour trip under any real circumstances, even on foot. When I was working security in Sacramento, I was assigned to a car lot in Dixon for a couple of nights. It was an hour-long drive, all told, getting from my apartment all the way to the car lot. On foot, that's still about a 4-hour drive, or walk, rather. I could have made that trip in those 4 hours by following the freeway the whole way. It is what it is. Just enough in an emergency that you can get from work to home, and that's it. Cut it off there. So, why is there all these other seemingly ancillary things that don't make sense? Why do you have a heavy coat in your get home bag in the middle of summer? Well, because it might be the middle of the night. And even in the best areas at 2 in the morning, it's cold. It's fucking cold out. All right. When I was working security at the working at the lumber mill in Reading around 2000, just after I came off active duty, but before 9/11, so it was somewhere in that range. 2 in the morning was cold enough I had to wear my coat. This is the middle of summer, the height of summer, the dog days of summer. It was still cool enough I had to wear my coat. The lady who was working the administrative office, that's all she did. When she came on, she was already wearing her coat. When she left, she was still wearing her coat the whole time. Uh, she was kind of a hippie. All right, I remember that much. It will get cold at night. If it's not cold at night, at say 2, 3 in the morning, I'd love to know where it is you live, where it's still warm enough at that time to not need to worry about being a little bit chilly, a little bit cold, right? Why is it such an important thing? You do not want anything that'll slow you down, distract you, confuse you, upset you, anything. You want to be able to stay focused on getting home. If you're forced to stay somewhere overnight, stay as little as possible because you might be camping out on a park bench for that one night, and that's going to be a rough night for you. You can keep moving, you can get home faster, get home safer. Energy bars, anything that can keep you fueled long enough to finish this trip, no matter how less than wonderful they may be. That's something you need. Water, you gotta have that water. Whistle and signaling devices. Depending on where you are, you might need to uh, signal to people to find you. It's a case during the 2020, I believe it was, California fire season, where a campground was surrounded by fire. National Guard was told to wave off. National Guard said, "Thank you very much. We understand the risk," and they went down and they picked everybody up. In that case, they had vehicles, emergency flashers on vehicles to guide the helicopters in. That was great. That was wonderful. And those guys really deserve a beer each, right? As Angry Cops put it, POB. Well, no, I say a beer each, but whatever. Difference of opinion there. Um, Calium lighter, calium sticks, all right, glow sticks. They make light, and it's not enough light to see anything, but it is enough light to be seen in an emergency. That's why every coastie, when they go out on a boat, not a cutter, a boat, they've got a calium lighter, a calium stick. Flashing strobe light. We also have those. If I remember correctly, they were supposed to be in this pouch here, and then you could pull it out. The Velcro would theoretically keep it uh, connected to your helmet. Stop laughing. Okay, moving on. Things that create light, things that create sound. If you want to be seen, if you want to be heard, space blankets are not very good for this application. Dump those. Get rid of them. A at least reasonably useful warm coat will beat your space blanket by a long shot. One thing space blankets are actually good for is hiding you from infrared if you really, really want to not be seen right now. Anything else, you're just wasting your time. Comms is absolutely critical, and at least for the first day or so, your cell phone will work. It may not work for voice, it may not work for a video. I wouldn't bother taking a video unless you're just recording it in case your body is found. Use your text function. Um, yeah, the person two people I would most likely reach out to. Papa Carrie, baby boy Carrie, maybe baby girl Carrie. Hi, Dad. Situation got out of control here. I am headed home. We'll let you know when I get there, expecting about 45 minutes. Dad will get that text. My son will get that text. My daughter will get that text. Right? They'll know, hey, okay, he's alive as of now. Good. Or he's alive as of when he sent the message. Good. And about 45 minutes, he expects to be home. Okay, great. We know where he is. We know how, or we know about where he is. We know what condition he's in. They don't hear from me after 4 hours. Maybe reach back and say, son, did you make it? Dad, did you make it? Dad, did you make it? Right? Maybe I sent out the next message and it didn't get through. That does happen. But send that first one out so that your family, all right, or your people, or whoever it is that you need to know where and how you are, will know. Okay, I'm still alive. I'm moving now. But the most important thing about this list is being ahead of whatever's happening. Now, if it's a man-made disaster, sometimes there's not much you can do to get ahead of it. That's the nature of man-made disasters. They're intentional, all right? Or they are absolutely sudden at very least. There's not much you can do about that. Natural disaster, generally seen the situation, at least the scene developing. Tornadoes, right? The weather patterns that create tornadoes are usually fairly observable. Hurricanes. We know hurricanes are coming usually a week in advance. If a hurricane is headed towards Houston, all right, you should know within about a 12-hour window when it's going to hit. It's expected to make landfall at 23:30. Okay. So it could be as early as 11:30 that morning or 11:30 the next morning. Somewhere in that 12-hour window, it's going to hit. You'll know this. Best thing to do there is to get out of the way as soon as you can. And I am looking at you, Walmart. You knew a problem was coming. You let it move. You let it continue on and make people stay at work anyways. And that is your own fucking fault. Everything you can to just get ahead of this crisis before it happens, you should take. That is the basic philosophy of Get Home Back. Just get home. Worry about the rest later. Worry about the blame games later. Worry about this is your fault, this is their fault, this is these other people's fault because they didn't let everybody go home. Worry about all that later. Right now, get home. And we can play the blame game, we can play the punishment games, we can do all that shit 6 months to a year from now when we have time. All right. I hope that covered it well enough. I will eventually go over my get home bag, the whole kit. Um, I really should do that someday soon. But in the meantime, keep calm, mandatory carry on.